Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
Okay. Hi, everybody. That music can only mean one thing. It's your friend, Tony Robbins. And I'm here to tell you today about a very special strategy. Wait a minute. Hey, excuse me, we're having technical difficulties. Damn it, okay, we're back. So today, like I was saying, we're going to show you, you know what? Just roll the podcast, okay? I'll just go get in the cold plunge. Don't even know who you're messing with here. Okay.
Did I do that? First day of the job.
Ah, Mumford, you little rascal. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. And every time Tony Robbins, our good friend T-Rob, comes on, it means we're going to talk a little strategy, typically. I always give Tony some shit, but, I love Tony Robbins. I have listened to him many times. I listened to him when I was starting out, when I was trying to get done drinking and starting to get kind of focused with my art career and trying to learn how to up my game. So I learned a lot from Tony Robbins, but I guess humor is just one of those examples of flattery. So if you're listening, T-Rob, we love you. Oh man, that kind of hurt my voice. I've been having some issues anyway, and I probably shouldn't have done the Tony Robbins voice, but that's fine. It's all for the greater good. So here we are back, and I thought I would talk a little strategy, and not really specific strategy, but the way I think about it and the way I look at it, there's about 4 real approaches or work kind of mindset strategies that you can take to make it as an artist. So I'm just going to get into it right now. The first mindset or strategy is just outwork everybody. This is kind of like the Gary Vaynerchuk strategies or like the Tony Robbins of the world. You're the workhorse. You outwork everybody. You put in the hours. Sometimes you work 14, 16-hour days, as Gary Vaynerchuk says. You're online. You're just burning the candle at both ends. You're always doing something. Just seems like you have this, endless amount of energy and productivity. I kind of have a hybrid of some of these, but I started out kind of doing the outwork thing, meaning I just had a lot of work that I was already putting out into the world and had a backlog of work. And I just started putting stuff up every day. And, getting into galleries and just more is better. And even now I've kind of honed that a little bit. I don't think more is better. But at the time I was just trying to get my stuff out there. So I was just putting it out and getting a strategy going where I was putting my stuff online every day. And I was working like it was a day job. Like I was going to the office and I was just work, and burning the candle at both ends and then creating on the top of that and being the marketing person, being the Photoshop person, the photographer, the copywriter, the IT guy, the website design guy, obviously the artist, the person who's creating all the work, you name it. I wore those hats. So that's kind of what it looks like if you're going to go for the outwork other people's strategy. And it is effective. It can be very effective because there are a lot of people out there who don't have a good work ethic or who are just kind of going to do the bare minimum, or they're on this Instagram fast track to success kind of mindset where they go, I can just put some stuff online and like a bunch of people's stuff and I'll be a famous artist. Well, it's possible. Of course, everybody can get lucky. We might get back to that, but it's more about being productive and putting quality and consistency out there. And if you can do that and you can outwork other people, that is definitely one strategy where you can get ahead as an artist. But one caveat is, I must say, if you're going to do this strategy, and I'm speaking from experience here, take care of yourself. Take care of your physical body. take care of your mindset, take care of your emotional health, all of these things, because you can burn out. I've been going through all my stuff. It's been horrible, but I don't really think it has to do 100% with burnout. It's more of other factors, but it does play into there. You don't want to burn out if you're going to take this strategy. You want to be optimizing your diet. You want to be exercising. You want to be meditating. You want to be taking care of your mindset. If you have some trauma to work through, you want to be going to therapy or doing whatever it is for you, EMDR, any other thing that we've talked about in the past to keep yourself stable as you're doing this, because it really can wear you down. So anyway, that's the first strategy, outwork everyone else. The second strategy is a smarter, not harder work ethic. Now, this is kind of a little bit of a hybrid. You do have to establish yourself as somebody who does good quality and puts out consistency. And you should probably be very talented at what you do. But once you've established all that, you can adopt a smarter, not harder strategy. This means putting systems in place. This means offloading work to other people and delegating to other people if you can do that, if you can swing it. Getting people for free or getting family or friends who can work for you and can help you get the message out there. That's very important. Even a law of attraction type attitude, if you put some effort into manifesting and visualizing and putting stuff out there that can come to you a little bit easier, you can put that also into the strategy of smarter, not harder. All those things are very helpful. Now, this is not available to everybody. Not everybody has somebody or a group of people who are willing to put in some legwork for them, or not everybody has like a significant other who can help them. I've always been the person who kind of just did everything. I've adopted wearing all hats, and it does complicate your life a little bit, and it can wear you down. So if you can find a community of people that will do some work for you and get your message out there and pick up some work like, website design, or, uploading some of your work for you, or doing some social media stuff, or maybe packaging some work for you. If you can get an intern, if you can get somebody like that, these things all help. You can look into like Tim Ferriss's books, like the 4-Hour Work Week. These are kind of dated at this point, but there are ways to offload some of your work to people, even across the world, internationally, people who need work. You can pay, a lot less than you'd pay somebody here to do some of the grunt work or the leg work for you. Those are some strategies for that. And that is, one of those strategies where you want to really optimize your positivity and your good energy and your law of attraction mindset, where you know that what you're doing is going out there and being effective. It's not about a numbers game where you're just putting out work, every day, all day, like hitting people over the head with it. It's more of like the work that I'm putting out there has to count. So that is the second strategy, the smarter, not harder strategy. The third one is networking. Maybe you are this person. Maybe networking is your jam. Maybe you're just really good at making friends, making contacts, making connections. This tends to be more for the people who are good at like quid pro quo and, doing favors for people, having people do favors for you, developing contacts, and really treating this like it is, like a business. I treat stuff like a business. I work my art career like a business, but I don't make connections quite as well as some other people that I know. I'm not really good at just burning the candles at both ends as far as like going out and supporting people, engaging people, getting them into my community, as much as some people are like, I'll do this for you if you do this for me. I show up to your show, you show up to my show. I'll introduce you to these people if you introduce me to your people. And then making those connections, fostering relationships that can really get you ahead, and then leveraging those to get you into bigger and better places, bigger and better galleries, or bigger and better collectors, or just other things that are established around the art world, grant programs, residencies, you name it, art marketplaces. I have kind of a hybrid of all these. I've tried to break them down into certain segments, and I'll get into that a little bit later when we're done with these 4 strategies. But that is the third. Networking. If you're the networking mindset, if you're the person who makes contacts really well, if you are the person who can juggle your community and your contacts really well, this is a way where you can bypass the outwork everyone strategy or the smarter, not harder work strategy. As long as you're creating good work, you can kind of try to get it in there through the back door, through your connections and your networking. So if that's your strong suit, networking might be the way for you to go. The fourth one, and I might give you a bonus one after this, but the fourth one is the pay to play strategy. You've all heard of pay to play. It has a very negative connotation in the art world. And that really means more so from like a gallery standpoint, or from people who are just like trying to take advantage of artists. So you pay to get your stuff in there, and it's just kind of a vanity type situation. And it really doesn't go anywhere because they don't have the incentive to sell your work as much. We've talked about that a lot, but I'm talking more about a pay-to-play situation from the artist perspective. Now, I do have to say and really emphasize with this strategy, which I have not adopted because I haven't been lucky enough to have a lot of income to burn through, but some people do. Some people have saved up a lot of money in the corporate world or have inherited a bunch of money or, maybe they've won the lottery or they're just independently wealthy for some reason. This is a great strategy for people like that because you can just pay your way through stuff. You can buy your way into shows. You can pay for people to work for you. You can pay for marketing. You can pay for like a team of people around you to do all your social media and your networking and your marketing and making all the connections for you. And all you really are responsible for at that point is just creating the work. And you really don't even have to have the burden of creating that much work when you have that much income and you can really make connections through your money. Now, a lot of people might hate on this strategy. And a lot of people are not going to be able to use this strategy, just like me. I've never been lucky enough to do that. I've always had to claw my way to where I'm at. But, just want you to be aware that this is a viable strategy for some people. And you do see people in the art world doing this or leveraging a lot of stuff because they have the income to burn through or they just have a lot of free time to go around. And that can get you to a place. Now, I don't know if that gets you to the level where you can break through and become a household name. Maybe it can. I mean, you've seen this in all different types of artistic endeavors like the acting world or the music world or whatever, or the writing world. It does matter who you can know and who you can kind of get connections with through monetary means. So it is a viable way to get ahead if you have that disposable income available to you. That is the fourth. So I'm going to go through them one more time. We got the outwork everyone strategy. And that's great for people who don't have the disposable income and they may not be good at making connections. Those people really, if you can just adopt like my work speaks for itself, I'm going to just put the great work out there. I'm going to just be a workhorse and I'm just going to beat you over the head with it every day. You're never going to not see my work out there. That's one of those strategies that's available to people who don't have those other means or who aren't good at some of these other things. The second one is the smarter, not harder. This is for the people who have a really good connection with a purpose and, maybe a little bit of a ethereal, almost spiritual connection with what they're doing, and they can visualize and they can, put things out there in a really positive way and harness that, and then also put some systems in place where they don't have to work as hard. So that's the second one. Third one is networking. Obviously, kind of speaks for itself. If you can make contacts, if you can leverage contacts, that's for you. And then the pay to play. If you've got disposable income, that is the fourth strategy. I'm going to give you a bonus strategy, and it's kind of similar to the outwork everyone strategy, but it's just the Steve Martin strategy. Just be so good that they can't ignore you. That one is just the person who is able to just put their nose to the grindstone, shut out the rest of the world and just create like amazing work, the best work out there. These are the people who sometimes just spend, 80 hours a week in the studio, just creating and honing and, really dialing it in and getting the best work they can out there. That's something that we all strive to do, but we all have lives. And some people are just really good at doing this. They shut out the rest of the world. They put their head down and they just get to it. Now, I will say you do have to have some sort of income, or you do have to be able to have an environment where you're able to put that much time into your work, because otherwise there's no way you can hold down a job and juggle this at the same time. But that is the be better than everyone else strategy. Now, you might say, well, what about getting lucky? Yeah, of course, some people get lucky. There are cases like this. There's outliers out there with every type of artistic endeavor. You see it in the acting world all the time. You see it in the music world all the time. Right place, right time situation, where luck and opportunity meets, where hard work and serendipity kind of overlap. It's just one of those things where some people just get it. They hit it. They get the right person. They meet the right person at the right time. The gallery sees them at the right time. They have the right attitude where they're traveling and they meet the right person that plugs them into some sort of situation that just blows them up. Yes, that happens. And I would say always keep that possibility open. That's what I do. I do all these other things. I do hybrid strategies, but throughout all my strategies, I always keep the possibility of luck to happen, Because the way I see it is, if you're doing work long enough and hard enough and putting out enough quality and consistency, you are going to get lucky from time to time. Now, I can't tell you how lucky you're going to get. I'm not going to say everybody's just going to blow up overnight at some point. No. But everybody has sprinkled luck throughout their career, and some people have the big ones that hit. So just understand that with all these strategies, you have to be able to accept luck when it comes up and like smacks you in the face. Just keep that open as a possibility, always, always. For me, if I had to define myself, I'm definitely not in the pay-to-play strategy. I'm not really in the networking strategy, although I do employ some networking, of course, but it's not my strong suit. I'm pretty much a hybrid of the outwork and the smarter, not harder mindset, because I definitely am a workhorse. I've always worked hard. I've always created and been prolific with my work and getting it out there. And I'm always good at like getting in front of the computer every morning, putting new work out there, marketing it, getting on social media. I actually enjoy that. It can be monotonous from time to time, but I love it and I'm grateful for it, and I will always be able to do that. But I also employ a little bit of the smarter, not harder, because I've learned to put some systems in place. I've gotten better. I've gotten more fluid with certain things. I've developed skills that make things a little bit easier than somebody who's just picking it up. And I definitely keep stuff open for the law of attraction and the whole luck factor. I keep all that stuff open. So I'm pretty much a hybrid of those first two. What are you? Are you one of these? Did I miss one that you might want to talk about? If so, reach out to me on social media. But I would be really interested to hear, or just to have you think about which one you are. And if you're trying to figure out what your strategy is, this might give you a little bit of an understanding of where you can put your time in and go, oh, maybe you're one of those people who just is floating and doing a bunch of stuff. And this gave you some clarity like, oh, you know what? I am the networking person, or I am the smarter, not harder person, or I'm the outwork person. And if you're the pay-to-play person, then, what are you waiting for? You got the money, you got the income, just put that out there, start making things happen. But hopefully this has been helpful to everyone out there. Always excited to bring you some new episodes. I will be bringing you another one next week. But until then, figure out which one of these suits you and really commit to it and see if it pays off. I hope it does. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode, as always. Bye-bye.
Okay, Tony. We've ironed out the kinks. We fixed the problem. We're ready to go. Go for Tony.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Bufford. Okay, everybody. Well, I'm happy to say that we're back and we're... Oh, son of a bitch! I'm out of here.
My bad. I don't know what happened. Come back, Tony. It was a mistake. Or was it?
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.